Action unfolds at Kai Tak Cruise Terminal as Hong Kong runs its biggest yet counter-terrorism drill involving over 700 people. Back to the crime scene in Tuen Mun as police bring a suspect to reenact Monday's deadly attack. And a horrific shooting in Minneapolis kills 2 children and injures at least 17 people during Mass at a Catholic school. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Evelyn Bai. In a bid to raise Hong Kong's readiness and capabilities in fighting terrorism, some 700 people took part in the city's biggest ever counter-terrorism drill, where officers from 6 law enforcement agencies practice fighting against armed criminals at the Kai Tak Cruise Terminal, with some members of the public participating in the live action. Jamie Liu tells us more.
Gunshots kicked off the exercise that simulated a battle against armed extremists at the cruise terminal. After exchanging fire, anti-terrorism police officers brought down some of the criminals. A special team of paramedics under the Fire Services Department rescued the injured. With a suspicious backpack in sight, firefighters unleashed their robot dog to scan for heat and sniff out dangerous chemicals. The exercise also took to the waters of the cruise port, with marine police chasing after terrorists on speedboats. Scenario tested included hostage situation on a water taxi. An elite special police unit dubbed Flying Tigers fast-roped from a helicopter to save civilians on board. The drill mobilized 500 people from 6 disciplined forces, several government departments, and 200 ordinary citizens, making it the largest yet to take place in the city. It also came ahead of major events such as the National Games and the Legislative Council elections. A senior counter-terrorism official warned that such events often targeted by terrorists seeking to promote ideological agendas internationally.
Because if a critical infrastructure in Hong Kong were attacked by terrorists or extremists, it would seriously damage our economy or the confidence in the government and our society.
Directed by Chief Executive John Lee, the drill aimed at strengthening the city's counter-terrorism readiness and capabilities, the government said in a statement. Looking ahead, authorities said they would organize different types of anti-terrorism exercise from time to time. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
Following the arrest of 13 people in connection with a fatal attack in Tuen Mun on Monday, 6 suspects were released on bail pending further investigation. Meanwhile, one of the detained suspects was taken by police back to Tin Shi Wai, Tuen Mun and Tsuen Wan for a reenactment. Bess Leung reports.
Police escorted the suspect, who was handcuffed and covered with a black hood, to San Seng Chun on Tin Ha Road, which is reported to be where the victim lived. At the scene, investigators arranged for the suspect to hold a knife-like object, using a dummy to stimulate the process of the crime. On-site surveillance cameras showed that the 51-year-old deceased was intercepted by 2 private cars carrying approximately 10 men as he left San Seng Chun in a 7-seater vehicle early Monday morning. One of the men attacked the victim from behind, forced him into the car, and then dumped his body under a bridge. Police then went to San Fung Wai in Tuen Mun, where it was reported that one of the knife-wielding suspects had driven to the place. Subsequently, they went to Tsuen Wan, where the suspect was questioned at the waterfront. 2 knives were found by water assault team believed to be related to the case. Police said the motive may involve money disputes linked to illegal activities, with illicit cigarettes one line of inquiry. Meanwhile, a 62-year-old man and a 62-year-old woman have been charged with assisting an offender, allegedly helping their son, one of the stabbing suspects, flee. Bess Leung, Cable News.
The landmark national security trial of former media tycoon Jimmy Lai is wrapping up as prosecutors and the defense finish the delivery of closing statements. During today's hearing, defense lawyers sought judicial notice for certain statements in their written closing submission, meaning if accepted, they do not have to provide evidence to support such statements. The statements include those related to the U.S. arms sale to Taiwan and sanctions administered by the United Nations Security Council. However, the judges returned down their request. The three-judge panel also characterized the defense's claims about Apple Daily's social impact and former U.S. envoy in Hong Kong James Cunningham's duties as comments. The justices adjourned the trial without setting a date for the verdict, saying they would announce it later. The standby signal number 1 will remain in effect until at least 9 a.m. tomorrow as a tropical depression approaches within 800 kilometers of the city. The broad area of low pressure over the central and northern parts of the South China Sea has intensified into a tropical depression, expected to move towards the seas south of Hainan Island. The tropical depression is projected to be closest to Hong Kong around noon tomorrow, skirting about 600 kilometers or more from the territory. It will be windy over the northern part of the South China Sea and the coast of southern China today and tomorrow. However, the observatory said, unless the tropical cyclone significantly intensifies or takes a more northerly path, the chances of sustained strong winds in the city remain low. The first batch of tickets for the 15th National Games events were up for grabs this morning, with tickets for more popular events snapped up within an hour. Sports fans can buy tickets via the online portal and 11 outlets across the city operated by China Travel Service. Scarlett Chen reports.
Some sports fans arrived early at the designated CTS outlets before sales kicked off at 10 a.m., making sure they could secure the tickets for their favorite events. The first batch of tickets available for sale covers only events hosted in Hong Kong, including beach volleyball, men's handball, men's U22 basketball, and rugby sevens. Meanwhile, if Hong Kongers want to enjoy events to be held in mainland or Macau, they have to buy tickets through the official portal, which also began at 10 a.m. No matter buyers want to purchase tickets online or offline, they need to complete real name account registration on the official website or WeChat mini program before purchasing. A Hong Kong identity card is required to buy tickets for events in the city, while a mainland travel permit is required for events held in Guangdong venues. Despite some tickets for men's U22 basketball event being priced at 549 Hong Kong dollars, they were sold out within an hour, showcasing resident support for the event. Scarlett Chen, Cable News.
A cluster of tombs believed to date back to Ming Dynasty has been discovered at the proposed site of the Senting Tennopo. The Development Bureau stated that the Antiquities and Monuments Office is currently assessing the historical value of the findings. A lawmaker described the discovery as relatively rare and expressed that there is room for conservation efforts.
Taking
to the airwaves, former Antiquities Advisory Board Chairman Andrew Lam explained that such finds are uncommon because historical policies, including the Ming Dynasty's sea ban and the Qing Dynasty's Great Clearance, led to the forced relocation of coastal communities. Preserving historical relics requires the clearance of many coastal architectures. Emphasizing that the tombs are situated near a local road, a lawmaker noted the possibility of making adjustments to road layout and surrounding land use to preserve the site if its historical value is confirmed, as planning is still in its early stages. Lam urged relevant groups to evaluate whether any feng shui woods are located near the site. He also raised concerns about whether piling works might affect the structural integrity of the tombs, and whether future generations will still access the site for commemorative purposes. Another tragic shooting in the U.S. has killed at least 2 children and injured 17 others during Mass at a Catholic school in Minnesota. The alumni shooter took his own life after the attack, which is being investigated as an act of domestic terrorism and hate crime. Jamie Liu has the story.
In Minneapolis, the start of a new year at the Annunciation Catholic School kicked off with terror. Parents rushed to reunite with their surviving children and comforted each other with hugs. A fifth grader recalled ducking for cover under a pew, but his friend was shot while lying on top of him. The gunfire erupted during an all-school mass in the school church. Police said 23-year-old Robin Westman, armed with a rifle, shotgun, and pistol, shot dozens of rounds through the windows and towards children in the pews. 2 children, aged 8 and 10 years old, died at the scene while over a dozen injured. Police said the shooter blocked 2 church exits with wooden planks, likely an effort to trap people inside. The lone suspect had no criminal record and ultimately shot himself to death after the attack.
This was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping. The sheer cruelty and cowardice of firing into a church full of children is absolutely incomprehensible.
There are no words that can capture the horror and the evil of this unspeakable act. Children are dead.
Authorities are aware of a manifesto the shooter appeared to have posted on YouTube showing a cache of bullets and guns. Other content, including a layout of the church, has since been taken down by law enforcement. Residents attended a vigil to mourn the victims. U.S. President Donald Trump said he was briefed on the matter and called for prayers. The White House and federal buildings lowered flags at half-staff in tribute. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the stock markets. The Hang Seng Index ended the day down 202 points. On to the weather now. Mainly cloudy with a few showers, isolated squally thunderstorms tonight and at first tomorrow, sunny intervals during the day tomorrow. Temperatures range between 26 and 31 degrees. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. That's our news tonight. I'm Evelyn Bai. Thanks for watching and good night.